Okay, so this is hooking up Unreal to the process. So at the time of this recording, 5.3.0 has just come out, and I'm not really going to use it because 5.1.0 burned me so badly, and being probably the least stable version of Unreal I've ever used, that I am just kind of waiting until 5.3.1, inevitably. And yeah, so in 5.2.0, I'm just made the plugin. I'm going to make a toolbar that basically will sit, I think, above the viewport, and this will have all of our buttons. And I'm going to try and make them as small as I possibly can with the text still readable, so that way then it's not really so invasive. And just thinking about the process, I have some... So, like, when some ideas that come to mind are when the user wants to import an asset. If it's a rigged asset, they probably need to specify what skeleton they want to import it on. I probably could just get that from the set, which is a thing that I outlined in a previous video from the directory structure. And for rigged assets, it's supposed to be things that share the same skeleton, and that's their set. And maybe I can do that, so that way then I don't actually need that on the UI. I could also hook it up to to a combo box on like the Unreal browser. But we'll think about that later. So here, I just kind of pasted over like a dictionary that's basically the folder structure that I would use for Unreal most of the time. And this is just as a config. I'm sure that I'll have to put it in the pipeline settings somehow, but I'm not going to think about that right away. And then we're going to recursively go through that nested dictionary and basically make a folder for each entry in it. And so here I really like recursive stuff. I'm just trying to remember when I was writing this out how to do this again. But basically we just keep track of the root path, and then for each folder we'll attach that and keep going all the way down, and then we'll make the folders as we go, every time we go down a level. And we're calling ourselves feeding in the current path plus the folder we made, excuse me, as the new root path that we're making folders from. And I'm just kind of making this as a private function, so that way then I can make a disclaimer for documentation and potentially add other stuff here if I need. And this is the function that I'll actually call in the init Unreal file. And also, like in the doc string, just talk about, hey, you need to put the Unreal content directory folder through here as a path object. And just trying to remember the syntax. Excuse me. Yeah, if you, in your project settings, if you search for Python, there's like a editor mode or some sort of mode. I don't remember the name of the checkbox. But if you turn it on and restart your project, in your intermediate folder, it'll generate the Python stub for you. And that's normally how you would have PyCharm look for like IntelliSense of the project. I just drug it in here because I was too lazy. I'm not going to lie. And so here the init Unreal file, which is Unreal, much like Maya, looks for everything at the end of a Python path, and then checks for a file of a specific name, and then runs that after the program starts. The init Unreal file basically works like the eval deferred lowest priority in Maya, so it just runs it after everything else. But I believe it runs it before editor widgets get constructed, because if you build an editor widget that references the code, no, maybe not. I think your editor widget will have to import it on either construction or like you would hook up the import to a button press or something. I can't quite remember. I'm pretty sure it happens before widget construction. Because if you make an editor widget, close Unreal, and open Unreal make an editor widget, run the editor widget, close Unreal, open Unreal, the editor widget should still be running. And I'm pretty sure that if you have on the construction script Python imported, I believe because it's part of the environment variables, yeah, that's not part of the Unreal or the init Unreal process. It's part of the environment variables, so that should already be there. I guess I just went on a huge tangent of something that didn't actually matter. It'll basically look, though, after I'm pretty sure I've tried importing stuff with the init Unreal though, and it happens after widget construction, because you can use Python to make custom blueprint nodes that run Python code, and those don't exist at the time the widget constructs. And here I'm just kind of realizing that I might go back through and change this. There's the Lucid folder, which is what everything's underneath for consistent namespace. So that way then you don't have to like syspath append different folders within the project. They're just all under the same root. And whenever I launch a program, I have to get that folder's parent. And I don't have that as a constant variable. I just kind of get the top relative namespace folder and get that guy's parent, which I don't know. I don't really think it needs another variable for it, but I keep forgetting about it, so maybe it's worth it just for that.